This is the Pentax P30. It's probably one of the easiest manual focus SLRs to have been made. This one comes with Tokina 70 to 210mm lens, and as you can see it has very traditional layout of controls. First thing I'm going to do is test that it's working. So I'll pop the back open. It's got a metal vertical plane shutter, and it runs from, wind it forward, 1/1000th of a second through to 1 second, and all stops in between. So let's put it on a 60th of a second. Quite nice. To insert the film into this, it's very simple. The film has DX coding on it. So the film here has a barcode on here which matches the contacts inside the camera. That means you don't have to set the ISOs of the film. Just draw it across. The rollers here and here will guide the rest of the film operation. So you just wind it forward until you reach the 0 point. I don't actually want to do that, so I'm going to take the film out. But you can see it's actually winding forward quite nicely. So let's take the film out and close the back of the camera up. Back there. The film counter is here. Speed selector for shutter speeds is here, and of course the aperture ring is operational on this. The camera has 3 modes. Either it's in flash sync, which is a respectable 1/100th of a second, or it's on program, or it's on full manual. To put the camera onto program, I just depress this button here on the ring and move the aperture ring onto A for automatic, and from this point onwards the camera controls both the shutter speed and the aperture of the camera. If I don't want to do that, and most of the time I don't, I take it off that ring and the camera reverts to manual. So at the moment the camera is set up at f16 at a 60th of a second. If I look in the viewfinder of the camera, what I see is a rectangle, and on the left hand side there is an LED strip. At the moment, because it's on manual, the M will be lit, and I will have both the shutter speed that I'm set on and the shutter speed that I require for that aperture. So then I turn either the shutter speed dial, which is here, down to match that, or I can turn the aperture ring and try and match that. So I have full control over the shutter speed and the aperture that I use for this camera. Focusing is done manually via the big thick ring here, which also, because this is a trombone zoom, actually works the zoom as well. Inside the camera I have a split screen. I could focus on the matte glass here if I wish, or for precise focusing I can use the split screen here. If you're a glasses wearer, sometimes one side or the other will be completely blacked out unless you're totally lined up with the center of the viewfinder. But at that point this will aid your focusing considerably. The only other thing that needs to be said on this is it has a delay timer, which is operated by depressing the button here and moving forward the on-off switch. And at that point I get a flashing light when I depress the shutter release, and after about 8 to 10 seconds as you can see it speeds up for the final couple of seconds, then releases the shutter. That's about it. What a beautiful little camera. Available on eBay for about £30 to £40 with a lens. what could go wrong?